Hi everyone, welcome to Tidy TV, where I bring the classroom to you. I'm Hannah John, and today I'm going to share when the best time to email your professor is. Stay tuned. A common complaint among students is that professors don't seem to be responding to emails, and this puts a lot of pressure on you, and I'm sure it creates a lot of stress. And so hopefully today's video will help you get a quicker response from your professor. A big disclaimer here is that not one size fits all. There are some professors who actually check emails, it seems like 24/7. There's no rest for them, while others seem to have fallen from the face of the earth, and it's just impossible to get in touch with some of those. I think I fall in somewhere in the middle, and most of your professors probably do too, but hopefully these tips will be helpful for you when it comes to getting in touch with them. So again, this is based on my own experience, and so it might vary from professor to professor. It's very biased, but hopefully it'll still be helpful. So in a few of my previous videos, I've already looked at how you can craft a more effective email to your professor or to someone you're trying to reach out to. In this video, I want to focus on the goal of how you can get your email read quicker, and hopefully how that can translate into getting a response quicker than before. The overarching goal is to try to think from the reader's perspective, and yes, I'm going to look at some things that you might want to avoid and some things you might want to do when it comes to sending your emails. So let's imagine your own inbox and look at the mails that are in the main frame. The ones at the top are the ones that are received most recently or sent most recently, and so those are the ones that you see first. So the goal is to try to get your email to be one at the top rather than one that's kind of buried at the bottom. So from this perspective, you want to avoid times where your professor will not be able to be sitting in front of a computer looking at emails. So this means avoiding class times, office hours, any kind of overseas commitments or external commitments, as well as academic conferences. They will not be there to read your email, so it's going to get pushed down naturally. So avoid these times when you're sending your emails. The second is to avoid busy times, so times where your professor might be in front of his or her computer, but because of kind of the time of the season, they might be inundated with many different mails, and so it might get lost within that mess or pile of emails in their inbox. So this also means, say, the first week of the semester and towards finals or the last week of the semester. So the third major period of times that you want to avoid are what I would refer to as off times, and so these are times where your professor should be resting. These include outside of 9 a.m. to, for example, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., as well as weekends. And the reason I mention this is that even though most professors, myself included, actually do sift through our inbox to see if there's anything particularly urgent, if we're reading emails during that time, it's very possible that we would save a response or a reply for a time that is more proper during office hours, because of course we're also thinking of you, the reader of the message. And of course, if we go back to thinking from the perspective of the reader, let's say you're working at a company or another organization and your boss sends you an email at, say, 3 p.m. on a Saturday. What does that do to your Saturday? It's a little bit extreme. I think in this case, we are always very happy to hear from you, but I think it's kind of the same kind of principle that we would like to employ when it comes to sending as well as receiving emails. Again, I don't want to shame students for having contacted me over the weekend. Thank you for reaching out, but it is very possible that I might save a response, unless it's very urgent, to the next week. And although I have my best intentions, the best intentions in mind, it's very possible that that response might get delayed just because I've read it and then it gets buried after, an influx of new emails. Okay, so what should you do when you're trying to send an email to your professor and hopefully in the hopes of getting a quick reply? First, please do check your professor's schedule. I mentioned in the avoid this section that you want to make sure that you're checking out things like your professor's teaching schedule as well as office hours. So please make sure you do your own homework when it comes to sending the email. This might also actually be the best time to check whether this is the right medium to be asking this question. So for example, I get emails quite often about, can I visit for office hours at a certain date? And that's perfectly fine. But for example, if you have a class with me, oftentimes I might be able to say during class time or slightly before or after class, what times I would be available to meet with you. And so that might actually save you the trouble of sending an email. Okay, so let's say that you've figured out your professor's schedule and looking at the response rates in the past, you tend to get a lot of responses on, Tuesday mornings. So what does that mean? Your professor probably reads and responds to mails best on Tuesday mornings. So what can you do if you've already crafted your email by Saturday, let's say 3 p.m.? instead of sending it at Saturday 3 p.m., what can you do? Even through Gmail and other accounts, you should be able to schedule the email to be sent at a certain time. So you can schedule the email to be sent, for example, on Tuesday 9 a.m. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you get your response even quicker the next time you email your professor. And until next time here on Tidy TV, bye!